What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. About a year ago, I was asked to help out with a state-funded clam restoration project. I have zero experience in shellfish, clams, oysters, nothing. I got nothing. But I thought, you know what? It's a chance to be on the water more, learn something new, make a little bit of side money. I'm in. Now that I've been helping out for about a year and learning a little bit more about the industry itself, it's pretty fulfilling. But before we get into this video, I want to back up to the summer of 2018. It was the summer of red tide. If you lived or visited anywhere around the Southwest Florida coast in 2018, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The red tide super bloom decimated everything. The fishery, from the fishing industry to the tourist industry, the overall smell, everything. The whole summer was one that most people won't forget, even though they wish they could. I've made a couple of videos. If you want to go back and get the gist of what happened in the summer of 2018, go back to my playlist and you'll find some red tide videos from then. It's pretty terrible. But the commercial industry that no one really talks about is the commercial clamming and oyster industry of Southwest Florida. It was literally destroyed in every way possible. And when they started to feel like they were making a comeback, the recent hurricanes that strung together in the last few years just set the commercial shellfish industry back so far that it was completely dead in the water. Now, there's a small group out of Punta Gorda called the Southwest Florida Shellfish Association. It's a nonprofit group made up of Southwest Florida shellfish farmers. This group, along with the FWC and the state of Florida, are all working together to try to repopulate the clam and the shellfish industry in general in and around Southwest Florida. And if this project is successful, it will in turn help clean the water with billions of little water filters and hopefully kickstart the Southwest Florida commercial shellfishing industry back to where it was before the first big super bloom red tide. The project in Boca Grande that I have been a part of is located in the heart of Gasparilla Sound on a 10-acre lease that is evidently owned by someone who lives on Boca Grande that owns the seabed in that particular area. I did not know that that was even a thing. I didn't know that a single person could just own the seabed. I didn't know you could own acreage of ocean floor, but I guess that's a thing. So that's what we're working on to reclimate and try to bring back 1 billion clams. Fast forward to a year and a half later into the restoration project, the first crop of commercial clams are being planted this last weekend. To start out, the 3 farmers in the Southwest Florida Shellfish Association are allowed a couple of 100,000 seed apiece, and that's where this video picks up.
Then the Tata markings on him.
Gotcha.
Oh, he balanced you out.
Yeah, it's just a different.
Yeah, right. He's like, I'm gonna get him close to 200,000 if I can.
They don't actually live as well as, say, this one.
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
These white ones.
Everybody
the
got
white
it?
ones.
Yep. Got it, Mike?
So that one there, his ridges are a little thicker. These are a little bit smoother, but they got those markings on them, and they call that an otata.
I didn't know that. So what's the advantages, disadvantages?
This one does really well in cold climate. This one does really well in a warm climate.
No, I haven't been over there.
The brown one's what they
I
go
know.
up north.
So what's going on here is these are what's called nursery bags, and what we are doing here is stocking the clam seed in the amount of 10,000 density. It goes by a measuring cup. The idea is to spread the seed evenly as possible throughout these bags and zip tie them up, and then plant these by pinning them on the seabed floor in a designated lease. Really just like any other farmer would plant any other crop. It's really kind of the similar situation. We get the seed spread around, zip tie the corner to where it's sealed up, and then roll these bags so it's easier just to roll out on the seabed floor and pin them down. So the plan is I'm headed to the boat ramp with my dive gear, get this brand new hybrid seed planted before the bad weather comes in. I'm not expecting this water to be very warm. We're gonna see. I'm gonna take my dive watch in just so we can get an idea of what the real temperature of the water is.
What I'll try to do, Mike, is just set 5. I'm gonna get behind you so I don't mud you out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm just gonna take the 5 and 5 and maybe roll those out, and you can roll the 7 close by it. But I think the current's going this way, so I'll just step off the ladder and
So where do you want me to start?
this is wide open, so just anywhere, you know. We're just doing a couple lines. It's anywhere inside the lease, so. Although, 170 is nothing to sneeze at.
What's that?
170,000 is nothing to sneeze at.
What's the matter?
I like the thermos bottle. Whew. All right.
So the idea is not to let the seed dry out completely. So we were kind of up against a time constraint. So we got out to the lease as quickly as possible, and before we even got ready, we took the bags and just dropped them in the water so that the seed could rehydrate if anything was dried out, and we wouldn't lose near as many. These hybrid seeds will stay in these nursery bags to somewhere between 3 and 4 months, roughly, depending on the water flow and how fast they grow. And after that 3 to 4 month time span, the seeds will grow into what's called cherry stones or cherry necks, depending on who you are. I mean, that's what you call them, I guess. At that point, we transfer them out of that smaller mesh bag into a little bit larger mesh bag, so there's no chance of suffocation of the larger clams. And then we'll cover those with a cover net because everything eats clams. Clams attract all the marine life, it seems like, from rays to redfish, crabs, even conch. They all try to burrow and cut into these bags. So when we get back out to the lease here, hopefully in a week, we'll bring cover nets and get these covered up the same way with when we transfer them out into the larger bags. We'll have to recover those just to try to deter the marine life from eating all the clams up.
What's that?
Go okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, little seeds spilled out somewhere. I don't know if it was out of like one of the things weren't zip tied. I noticed some around. That's why I went, instead of doing, I went on that side because I just shoved it kind of underneath the net. I could kind of grab it.
All right, 170,000 hybrid clam seeds planted. Not too bad. Right there, that's exactly the reason.
You like that wrapped around you again?
That's exactly the reason why I don't like hoses. There's not a lot of hiding that, is there? From scoundrels.
I mean, the sign's right there. You know,
Covered in pelican shit.
pelican shit, right?
Dive flag is present. Shellfish growers are in the water tending crops. Stay clear. No anchoring. So one thing that Ray wanted to try to do was, since the water was so clear and low right now, he wanted to make a few passes around looking for any kind of debris or netting or any nursery bags or any other type of material that may have been left from the last hurricane, or maybe would get lucky and find some of the missing bags, but it wasn't the case. They were definitely taken.
Looks like the current flows this, like going from the south. So you want to be, does it matter which side you want me to drop you off on?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have rope ready.
On the way back in, we wanted to stop at the state reclamation lease out in the middle of Gasparilla Sound. I was going to dive. We were going to retrieve 3 cover nets from that property so that the FWC scientists are able to come in and do samples and whatnot. These nets have pretty much done their job to protect the clams, and so now it's our job to basically clean up the property so that the FWC scientists can come out and do their job. You don't want to pull that way. Woo. From here, 60.
60, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, you should have got in on this one.
Yeah.
There might be. Yeah, there's at least 3 that's still there.
Do 2 more of these. Try to get the 3 out and clean up. I'll have buoys ready with anchors.
If you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate all your support. Go to seasick.shop. I got some merch there, hats, shirts. If you're local to the Inglewood area, head on over to Gaspar's Diving Board, pick you up some Seasick merch. And Gaspar's are running dive charters now, so if you want to go out to a shallow water reef, or if you want to go to the boneyard, give Gaspar's a call, book a trip. If you want a guided dive, I'm one of the guides. If I'm available, we'll try to make it happen. But until then, we'll see you on the next one.